Before you think about jumping into Eternity of Pain, don't make this mistake. For those that are Thronebreaker and Paragon, and if you are those inclined to smash through this on the first day and go, oh, I'm really kind of like good at the game and I swiped through this and I got through it, blah, 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 then that's great. This video isn't for you. What this and who this video is intended for are for those that want to take a bit of time with this and also be very much prepared for the content, as like myself is going to be as much as possible. So how do you get prepared for this? Well, I've put some information in the description. We're going to try and see if we can break this down to acquisition of resources in order to do it, to make it just more, I don't know, easier if you make a mistake. The second part to this will be some considerations when it comes to how you set out to grab points. And the third thing will be logical team creations to do this. But the main thing that I want to point out, as many of you know, is you do not have to do this content right off the bat. You can wait 3 weeks, and that's one of the great things about this, is that you have 20 days at the point of this video going live. I am making this on last night, so Wednesday, so I can then kind of like have this out on Thursday morning, because YouTube decided they weren't going to send out any notifications for the 2 videos I made on Wednesday night. So thanks YouTube, always nice and demoralizing when they don't do that. But let's go over the details. So you have 3 weeks, right? That gives you at least 20 of the solo events that are up. And what's important about the solo events, and that is revives and health potions. It means that if you're going up against content that, say, you know, you make a mistake, or you kind of feel like, do you know what, I need to take a break from this, then at least you can wait a little while, or kind of go in second, or even close to the end of this event. I would recommend going on week 2 to go and grind out the Eternity of Pain, just to get it done. Get off your plate so you don't have to worry, okay? But one thing is picking up level 4 health potions, or the highest level potions that you're able to get from the solo events. Some units, which lesser degree, you might not be using units, but the main thing is the level 1 revive. Those 2 things are very important to get your champions back up on health and also have them in your stash. If you want to go elsewhere and go into things like, special events, you'll know that you're able to grind Realm of Legends and pick up level 3 health potions. They don't give like a huge amount of health back, but maybe it's a difference between you getting a champion back up to like full health and kind of like feeling that you can take on it again and kind of feel like more comfortable and confident in that particular grind. I mean, what have I got? I've got 25 already, and I plan to get up probably another 25 to maybe even upwards than that. Maybe 25 probably be enough, especially because I've got 28 of the level 4 health potions, which I've been saving in order to feel like, you know, if a mistake happens, or a couple mistakes, or whatever happens, I've got that in the back burner, or I could just use that for other content and save that. I don't know. I can't predict the future. That would be great if that would be the case. But also picking up boosts. Boosts are really important to improve your damage potential and just kind of grind through, get as much damage as possible. You can get health. You can get lots of boosts from going to do some of the solo events, which give you some of the various supreme, greater, and solo crystals from the solo events. The greater solo crystals give you some sort of chance, but I would say if you get a chance to do the supreme solo crystals, they're normally the best. That's where I pick up a lot of my boosts. I mean, I've just picked up a lesser attack boost for my trouble. Yes, it's a 15-minute rotation, but that extra 10% could be the difference between you having to spend a revive or a health potion, or those kind of things as well. So you kind of like are prepared for this stuff. So there's plenty of places as well to go to lower content, you know, Act 3, for example, and go and grab some health potion, some revives. And that's what I normally do, is I kind of like go and check out, you know, check in Act 3.2.6 and go, okay, well, what's there? Is there a revive? Oh, there's a revive. I'll go and grab that if I need to. I've got a good amount of stash at the meantime, so I don't know if I need it. But make sure to kind of like have as much resource as possible, just in case there's a slight chance you might make a mistake. Hopefully you don't, and that is great, you know, to kind of be that optimistic with it. The next thing to point out is objectives, and this is something that players may miss, especially if you're Thronebreaker. It opens up possibilities of team creation, which we're going to talk about as the ending point about a good team, and a very helpful forum thread that's just sprung up that gives players an idea of team creation. But the point that's on screen at the moment is something that Kabam miike said back last month, which was that a Thronebreaker player can earn 17 points during the event. 3 from each of the week-long quests, which you should have been doing up until there, and 5 from the final gauntlet-style quest, right? So if you go into game at the moment, keep that number in your mind, 5, right? If you go to your solo events and you go to the outstanding Eternity of Pain, you should be on 12 like me, unless you've missed out something because you've not done, I don't know, one of the objectives in a certain way. If you then go to your rewards, the maximum amount you can get with 4 of the points, and as I said, 5 is available, but with 4 points you get the milestone. With 5 points you get jack, you get nothing, absolutely nothing. 17 points gives you nothing. 16 points gives you the next volume of tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic fragment. As I said, very important that keep that in your mind, because it's going to be relevant to what you can get back. So what you kind of work for in your objectives can change. The strict guidelines to this is that if you take a tech champion, a cosmic champion, a mystic champion, and a mutant champion in, you will forfeit a point, okay? If you do, I don't know, if you say, I'll take a tech champion, a cosmic champion, and a mutant champion, there's literally no point, because you're only going to get yourself, like, what, 1 point as a result, and that's kind of, like, pointless. Literally pointless. So you need to figure out a team that's going to be beneficial to you. And as we've said, and as we're going to see in a moment, it is important to look at a team that may be built around skill and science. Now, if you're like myself, you would have done 2 of the champions running up to this with a Spider-Verse champion and a skill-based champion or mercenary champion. And that is, a lot of mercenary champions are going to be skill-based champions, like the likes of Black Widow Deadly Origin, for example, or it's going to be Spider-Ham, which I used against Dormammu. I think myself and Dan talked about using that for the weekend. We both did. We both slayed. We both had a good time. And actually, the Dormammu fight with Spider-Ham is probably my most enjoyable one fight thus far, apart from Blade and using Black Widow Deadly Origin. But it's all important and it's all relevant to the point of being prepared with this stuff. So when you go to certain things like, I don't know, like you look at skill-based champions and you go, all right, okay, well, this is the champion I'm going to bring in, because bring skill and science is maybe the way to go. And it may be all about like switching up the team and going, oh, should I use Nick Fury? Should I instead, and this is the other kind of like key point to get to, is on the objectives, go, can I sacrifice that point? As we said, 5 points is what you get from going in. If you just use 2 science and 1 skill champion going in, then that's fine. You'll get 5 points. But that's pointless. You could do it in 4 and have a champion that's able to deal with something that was a problem. So my recommendation to you all is think back over the last few weeks and what champion, enemy champion, any boss champion gave you the most aggro. Was it Icarus? Was it Blade? Was it Dormammu? Was it Crossbones? And kind of look at that situation and go, okay, well, I might have a champion for this. I might have Spider-Ham, which may be able to do Icarus, and it may be able to do, I don't know, Dormammu, for example. Oh, I've got Black Widow Deadly Origin. That can do Blade. And that's 2 champions there. That's 2 slots. So I can bring in a champion that interacted with something else in a nice and meaningful way. Maybe I bring in RichTheMan, for example, which is a great counter to Crossbones, which you weren't able to theoretically use, or I don't know if it was, I think it was a Paragon one, that was the reason for it. But in any case, whatever. The fact is you can rotate something in and lose 1 point, and still get the most milestones that you're able to get. But look, you know, there may be something different with Paragon. I don't know, this may be the same as Paragon gets. I don't know, I'm not Paragon, but the way that Paragon players would have to set up their strategy would be maybe similar, but also maybe a bit different. And they might have to add something into their rotation in order to get the maximum amount that they can pick up from Eternity of Pain. Either way, on the particular subject, there is a great thread. Now we're going to further talk about champions, and there's a thread which I put a link to in the description called Eternity of Pain Week 5 Team Building Discussion. It's great. There's some really decent stuff to consider in here that you may be about extending your roster on things. So look to, I don't know, Hercules, other champions. This player here says they're going to use Ham for Icarus and Dormammu, Sentinel for Crossbones, Shang-Chi for Blade. So that's cool. That's a team that's consisting of Science Champion. They're going to lose the point and use Sentinel, but it's going to be beneficial. There's also going to be like a player said, Dragonman, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, and She-Hulk. This team here, Dragonman for Crossbones, Spider-Ham, Miles Morales. Miles Morales I actually tipped. I thought that was good. That would be a great shout, and many players are using that. Someone said solo Crossbones using Jabari onto Icarus and Fury with Fury. So someone's using Nick Fury, and then Cap Infinity War for Blade and Dormammu, and someone's there Cap Infinity War and Jabari Panther. Someone's using Hercules, so that's cool as well to see the different types of selections. And just lots of stuff added to this particular thread. Go and check it out, as it will give you some real decent ideas and options as to what may be good. But as I said, one of the main things is look at what was an issue over the last several weeks and put in a solution. Is it going to mean you want to rank up a champion? I don't know. Like, I've got a Dragonman that's 5-star, and I'm kind of considering, like, do I want to do it? Am I just doing it for this particular content? Will it be actually worth it for me? Possibly. I don't know. Again, it's all down to perspective as to what would be the better counter, the better option to take on the specific type of champions you may encounter down the line with it. Is it a case you need an unblockable champion to deal with the brute force of Crossbones? But do bear in mind, on the particular route, if Crossbones was your problematic champion, then I believe he says, is Crossbones the first champion that you will face off against? Yes. So if you don't get a solo with the champion that you think will be the best one for that, and you've kind of set up on the other stuff, then at least you can get that idea and bearing to prepare yourself before going any further into Eternity of Pain. But that's been the video. Information about this thread is in the description. A little bit of write-up and some of the stuff I've talked about in this video is in the description. And that's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. I should hopefully, as I said, record this Wednesday. I want to get this out on Thursday. I should have after this a Cavalier cheat sheet, so look out for that. Cheers everybody, check out some other content located on screen as well as the previous content from yesterday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.